Hello, kid summer schedule. So, how do I keep my kids busy in summertime while I'm working? I like to draft a schedule, and I already drafted for this summer. As soon as the school is over, I update the schedule, so I have the uh, our key schedule. I've been doing that since probably 2021, because between 2020 and 2022 they started at home. The first year they started with their teachers at home, 2020. Yeah, but then 2021 to 2022 their school enrolled them in an online program, but they started on their own, and then they meet with teachers periodically to take a test. So I draft a schedule from around that point to keep them organized, busy doing their school project. And then in summertime I just continue, and over time I just keep improving on that. So for 2024 summer I update the schedule for them, because I've been thinking about the different things I want them to work on during summertime. So I draft the schedule, and the way I did the schedule, I like to set hours that they will follow during this during the school year as well. That way, when the school is about to start, I won't have to get them their body adjusted to a new schedule. So we tend to have the same bedtime hours for summer, for all year around. So for the summer schedule, I've been thinking that they will wake up a little bit early than usual. Usually I wake them up at 6 in the morning, and then I will shower two of them, and the other one will shower herself, and that way they can be on time, and that's how we work. But the one in the middle school is has a homework, and she's struggling getting her homework done on time. So I thought for this school year coming, they will wake up a little bit early, because the middle one is going to start middle school as well. So therefore I start thinking about all of that way before school ended, and I know that I'm going to, instead of 6 a.m. they are going to wake up at 5 a.m. especially the oldest one. So when I'm drafting the summer schedule, I started with that hour that I know they are going to have during the school year. So 5 a.m. they will wake up, and 7 p.m. they will go to bed. So I like them to have about 10 hours of sleep, but I don't, if we start with 7, they go to bed at 7 p.m. to midnight, that's 5 hours. To 5 a.m. that's 10 hours. So that's that. So 7 a.m. they will wake up, and it's probably 5 something now, and the oldest one is showering. That's why we have the water in the background, because when I was working on things in the kitchen, she woke up, she came to check the time, and now she's showering and I'm recording. So, and I said the schedule is just the same schedule for the whole summer, but that is the same schedule they use during the when school is in session, and they do not have a school a day, that during holiday or during weekend they will use the same schedule. So I try to set a schedule that I don't have to keep changing, and I started doing that since last year, that I try not to have just, because before I'll have summer schedule, and then I'll have school instead of school year schedule, but I try to have one schedule that can work for them. So during when school is in session, like winter, spring, they will use the same schedule during holidays and then during weekends. So for this new schedule, they will wake up at 5 a.m. I do not wake them up. They do not have alarm, but they tend to wake up. So they will wake up at 5 a.m. Sometimes they wake up very late, and I'm okay with that. And they will shower. So the oldest one will shower at 6, and I let that gap of between 5. I don't know if I put 5 or 5:30, but yeah. And the reason why I did that, so that she can shower and do her homework. When school starts, she'll have time for that. But then at 6, I will shower the youngest one. And the reason why I gave 1 hour window is so that the oldest one, if they tend to take long showers, so, and they can shower for, I mean, if they shower for 30 minutes, but pretty much we have enough time to work with, and I can shower the youngest one quickly, and the middle one will shower. The middle schoolers, they start school late, and the youngest one in elementary will start school early. So, but they all will be really about the same time, especially days that I will be at the office. So, and that's how the structure is, because by setting up the summer schedule, I'm already thinking about the school year, how the school year schedule, morning schedule. So that's what I use to set the summer morning routine. So they will shower, and then they will go outside for 1 hour or so, and I put that around 7:30, because that's when I start working. I work from home for my employer, and I go to the office sometimes. So days that I will go to the office, they may not go outside if my husband is not going to supervise them outside. So usually when I'm going to the office, they stay in, they do not go outside. But when I'm at home, I know that I will start working at 7:30, then they will go outside for an hour, and I will work from the living room there, for I can keep an eye on them in the backyard. So they will go outside for an hour and that's early in the morning, because in summertime it can get hot. We live in zone 5A, Middle West, so therefore it can get hot in the summertime. So I like them to go outside in the morning where it is cool, and sometimes we can even have a lot of mosquito outside too, but I think they have been doing okay with that. But yeah, early in the morning they can go outside and exercise a little bit, play out there. So we bought them some balloons that they can, some balls that they can use outside. So I dropped the schedule, have that 1 hour outside for them, because if I do not set it up, they will not go outside, especially the oldest one. They do not feel like going outside if I do not insist they go outside. Therefore it's on the schedule. So when they are back from outside, I do not serve breakfast. A lot of time when they are going outside, they'll ask if they can eat some fruit. So they will get fruit, some eat pear, some eat apple, and they will go out, they will take it outside and eat. And since it is summertime, they harvest fruit from outside as well. And at this time we have gumi that is ripening, and they have been harvesting that. We have few strawberries as well, but then we have currant that is ripening now. So black currant and red currant. So when they goes outside, they snack on those. And when they are back from outside, they will read for 1 hour. When they are done, they will read a book for 1 hour, fiction or non-fiction. They will read for 1 hour, and then they will write for 30 minutes, because I want them to practice what they learn from school, so that when school starts, they do not spend about 2 months at home doing nothing school related, and then when school starts they feel like they forget everything they learned during their school year. Therefore, reading, writing, and maths are on the schedule or in the schedule. So they will read for 1 hour, they will write for 30 minutes, some will write, and I insisted they will have a paragraph of 5 sentences on paper because I want them to practice writing. Some of them have very good handwriting, and I want them, I know they all have different handwriting, but I want them to keep practicing improving it so that they form the shape of the letters properly, because as they progress in school they will be compelled to write fast, and it's now the time to improve their writing style. Whatever the style is, they need to improve that. So I insisted, because they tend to have they write novel online as well, like Google Doc. So, and it's okay for them to do that. So I insisted they write at least 5 sentences, a paragraph of 5 sentences on a paper for me, and I'll look at it, they will read it to me. And when they read it, I'll tell them that, well, it is for your grade level, it's too simple, you need to use a better word than that. So I did that with the oldest one a little bit, but now she understood what I meant by that, because they can quickly write something to show to me. But yeah, and we improve on that. So that's one way for me to know what they are doing. So they will write on the, because they have 30 minutes to write, some of them they will write online in their Google Doc working on their novel, but they will write a paragraph. It could be an extract from whatever they are writing online or now, but they will write something on paper for me, and they will read it to me, and I'll ask them to show it to me, and then I will say, yeah, the handwriting is good, or the handwriting, they need to improve that. If they do that the next day again, they will reward it. So sometimes I'll tell them that, and sometimes when the writing is good, I'll say the writing is good, or sometimes I'll tell them that handwriting, it is now your handwriting. It's very good, but it is now your handwriting. I do not want you to change your handwriting, I just want you to improve it, shape the letters properly, but I do not expect you to change your handwriting style. It is your style, just improve it. So there are some of them that I've been giving that advice to, and some that have good handwriting but tend to write very small, and I say, yeah, well, too small, people cannot really enjoy your handwriting, so you need to make it a little bit bigger. And so, and we, and some of them, they can just write very big and quickly, and I'll say, no, you have very good handwriting, and I want to see that on the paper. You do that again, you will write it. So, and that's one way to help them practice their handwriting during summertime, and they read, they write, and then they will get their computers, because each one of them have their own computer. We purchase them computers while they study at home, and then we just keep that routine. So they have those computers since 2020 and 2023 toward I think they have been using that for some months now, but anyway, yeah, we bought them around winter of 2023. We bought them different computers, and they have been using that. So it is Windows that way, because I noticed that when we bought Google, how do you call the other one? I don't know. Google notebook, free software that I want them to have on the computer to work with. Now all of those software are compatible with their computer. So this time I insist my husband buy Windows for them, so they have Windows. And then so when I set the schedule, I thought about things that I want them to learn. So as I have a list of skills that I want them to learn this summer. So I list those as well to give them some guideline. So when they get their computer, they will spend some time to listen to a business idea. So when they are listening to a business idea, it could be how to make money, it could be how to save money, but business, I like to call it business idea. So they will listen to business of finance idea, and then and during that time they will draw, because I want them to improve, to keep drawing. Some of them are very good at it, and I want them to practice that skill as well. So while they are listening, they can draw, and for drawing, probably for about a year now, they have some free software like Krita, Inkscape on their computer. So some of them can draw online, some of them like to draw online, and some of them like to draw on paper. So they will do that, and then after that, I believe they will have pretty much the schedule is set. They will have a term for math. So I have duration, the time frame for how long they will perform an activity, and then I have from to as well on the schedule. That way, if they start the schedule exactly on time that is on the schedule, the hours will match. But if they didn't schedule on time, the duration, they should prioritize that. So they know that they need to do something for 1 hour, whether they started at 7:30 to end it at 8:30 or not. If they started at 8, they will end it at 9. So it has to be for 1 hour. The duration is prioritized over from 2 hours that we have on the schedule. That's the way I set it up. So they will, so they will do the business idea, drawing, and after that they will have I'm now seeing it in order that I have it on the schedule though, but they will have a time for math, and I believe math is about 30 minutes. They can do math on paper, they can do math on the computer, because they have some software, some website from the school that they can log in and work on math. So they will work on math for a certain period of time, and then they will analyze stocks for a certain period of time. So they have been doing that probably for a year now. So last year they learned to invest in dividend stocks. I opened some brokerage account for them, and they have some money in it. We tend to put money in it for them, and I'm teaching them how they can invest and how they can trade. So last year they learned how to invest in dividend stocks. They purchased most of them. I used to do that for them, and I'm still doing it for the youngest one, but the other two, they are catching up. So they invest in many stocks they have in their account, but this year I'm teaching them how to trade stocks. So they are selling the dividend stocks that they have when they have profits, and then they are investing in they are trading stocks. So if they have about $5 profit, they will sell it and lock in that profit. So whether they are selling stocks or buying stocks, they need to analyze stocks on a daily basis. Sometimes they don't do it because I had to open think or swim for them, and sometimes I will say I don't have it open, or I won't open it for them. So but we have been working on that. They will analyze stocks, and I have specific instructions so that they do not forget, because they will need to go in their account position. So they had to ask me to open the account for them so that they can check their stocks to see if they have anything positive that they can sell or not. And then they will analyze the stock to see if there is something they want to buy, and then they will check their account. That's the account position. They will check the account history to see if they earn dividend from a stocks, and then they will record that on their Google sheet. So and so I have this structure for them, because sometimes they will skip those, and they did that during the school year as well. The school year, when they are back from school, they will read, and then they will analyze stocks. And the middle one did it pretty much well. The oldest one was busy with homework and was not able to do it consistently, but the oldest one, yeah, she would work on homework and later she would read, but not so much doing stocks during the week. But the middle one was able to, because she didn't have homework, she was able to read, check stocks, and then use her computer until I'm done working. So yeah, they will use the computer after school, but they will read for 30 minutes, check stocks, and then they will use their computer. So that's the way I structured for them, and that's the two things they were supposed to do after school is over, during the school year, when school is in session. But when a day they don't have school, they default back to the summer schedule, and they know it. So for this summer schedule, I have that structure because I know that when they are starting stocks during the school year, they didn't really, even during the weekend, they didn't really go through all the steps. When I asked them, did you check your account? Did you earn any dividend this day, today or this week? They didn't answer that question. Or did you record those dividend stocks? They will say no. So I write it down so that it is there, they can see it. So while some of them are analyzing the stocks, and the others will work on their skills. So we have learning skills on the schedule, and when one that is working on the stocks is done, then the oldest one will get to the stocks and work on stocks as well. So they have a time, and I think that's what we put most of the time, skill learning. So, and they have the choice, and for that I have the list of different things they will work on, the skills that I want them to practice. That include videography, photography, and they are into making jewelry, so I list that as well. So crafting, and because last year we bought them tools, the craft items that they use, and they learn to make jewelry by checking books out from the library and by watching YouTube. They make jewelries, and some of them are into knitting because they have some classmates that knit toys or crochet, but they make stuffed animals, so some of them are interested in that. So I list those as well. So based on things that are listed on the schedule, I told my husband, I told him things that I want us to buy the kid this season. In fact, but we will buy for a while, but I insisted that we bought it before, right at the end of the school year, because we didn't buy it before. But it was a camera and a picture camera, if that makes sense. But we bought them a camera last year and a design pad, but not last year, probably 2022. But they damaged the camera. They are still using it, but I think it's a little bit, it has some issue. So I know that I want to buy them a better quality one. So it was on my list. So pretty much when we are getting close to the end of the school year, I told my oldest one, even prior to that, months ahead, I told her that crafting items that they are using, if there are things they are running out of, and other crafts they want to try, to make a list of those things. So they need to make a list so that they do not forget the items they want to get. So they have the list, and when we got close to the end of the school year, I told my oldest one that she needs to draft a list of the items that we need to buy at the store for them for crafts for summer. So, and she have a long list for me, and I know that I need to use that to teach her a little bit about budgeting. So I told her that she has a budget to work with. First, she needs to go online, that list, to search Walmart, for instance, and write the price of the items on the list. She did it, and I said, well, I don't even know how much the price was. $300, I have no idea. $400, I don't know. And I told her that, well, she has $100 budget to work with. She needs to make sure now she can prioritize what she wants to get with that $100 and feed that within $100. And she went to multiple iterations, and sometimes she'll ask me if she can go over by $10, and I say you have $100 to work with. Total, everything needs to be less than $100, not more. So, and she was able to get it to $98 or so. So by the time school was over, I told my husband ahead of time that we need to go to the store to buy them things. So we went to the store, and I have a list as well for the IT product that I want to buy them. So they went there with their list, and we pick items. So when they pick things that she wrote down, like the quantity in it, she worked with some quantity numbers that can help her stay within $100. So when I see there is a bulk version that will get them more item in it, I will tell her to pick that one instead. So we purchase different crafts, and I try to see what I can buy for the boy as well, because he's not much into craft. I think he's more I think his personality is more green and blue. The first two colors. We all have 4 colors in our personality: green, blue, no, green, gold, blue, orange. Green are more researchers analyzing things. Gold are more goal oriented. Gold, like the middle, gold. Gold color are more goal oriented, result oriented, searcher, being on time. Blue people are more people oriented. They have empathy. They are more people oriented, serving people, helping people. And you have the orange. The orange are more adventure people, traveling, doing risky things, climbing, jumping out of the plane. They are, adventure, excitement, all things around. So we all have combination of those 4, but I think the first 2 color can influence a lot how we do things. So, and I think my son is more green and blue, the first 2 color. I'm trying to analyze my children, get to know their personalities. I'm fascinated by personality in general, by personality type in general, and I like to get to know my children's personality so that I can guide them on that. And we purchased some book at the library, and some of them are personality topic related, and a few months ago we went to it and I shared that with them. They read some chapters in the book, and I told them to pinpoint if they notice a personality trait in the book that they can relate it to pinpoint that to me, and we make kind of fun exercise from there. They can pinpoint their sibling personalities and back and forth, and they can pinpoint some of their own, and I'll tell them to write it down on their Google sheet. So each time they come across a personality type that they can relate it to write down. That way they will have a list of their personality trait that tells them, who they are. So, their skills, their ability, their personality trait. So I think we have a Google sheet for that as well. But it is an ongoing thing. So I like to get to know them and be able to point out their natural abilities, talents for them. So yeah. So my son is more research, science. He likes things science related, math related, but he's now into drawing and crafting. So I had to come up with some stuff for him. So at the store I was able to find some clay, and we bought some brushes and paint, and I think he should be able to do some stuff with that as well. So we have that, and I have a list of different things they can do, and for the list of the skills, I wrote down things they can search online when they want to find more information about the topic. How to record a video, how to edit a video, food cinematography, food photography, and things like that. So I have those lists for them, and I told them that when they come with a topic, or they are searching things, they come with a topic that they found interesting, they can add it to the list. So we have those lists that I told them that they need to search something, read one that they're interested in, type it on their computer, and watch it on YouTube and learn a little bit about the skill. So for the skill learning, they will need to take picture and take a video, record a video, and edit the video online on their computer, and at the end of the day they will play the video for all of us to watch. So, and that's something I want them to work on a daily basis, but they have not been doing that. Sometimes they will say they are not done editing, but it is a skill they are learning. And then I'll remind them if there is a search on the list that they perform, you know, a topic idea, they search, and then they will say, yeah, they search how to hold camera, and I said, okay, what did you find? I think yesterday my daughter said how to record without shaking the camera or something like that. And then I asked her, what did you find out? And she said they said to lean against a tree. So she gave me 2 tips there, but I just want to make sure she did the search and she remembers something from whatever she watched. But, and then, yeah, so I gave them some structure, but from there they are in charge to do the search. So they can tap the one of topic in the search bar of YouTube and then choose the video they want to watch on it, and they can go in the rabbit hole with that. Like my son, he's obsessed about how to hold a camera, so he's been searching that and teaching me how I should hold the camera. So I'm learning a skill from him. But yeah, so that's how I'm keeping them busy during summertime. And then they have, you know, their knitting and crafting and jewelry making. So we bought things for them, and we bought the camera, we bought some hard drive, external drive, USB card for the cameras, and pretty much I think we spent about $800 to buy the IT product and the craft product for them. Last year when we bought the craft product, they didn't take good care of it. It was a lot, and when I gave them box to put them in, they made a mess of it. So I told them that this year I'm going to keep those things organized, and they will pick a project, we'll pull those things out, they will have it in the room, and when they are done with those projects, we'll pull the tools back, and they'll pick another project, and we'll pull the supplies they need for that project. So the project they pick, one is making a dinosaur with rubber band, so that project is not done yet, she's still working on it. Another one pick knitting, I think she's needing a band for the head or something, so that project is not done. So they had to be done with that project to put the tools back in the box, and then they will pick another craft they want to work on, and pick the supplies they need for that. That way I can keep the bulk of the product organized, put away, and they just have what the project they are working in, the tool related to the project they are working in small containers that they can just take out and work on. And for the IT product, I use a container that we put boxes in, and the camera and the drive and all those are in it. That way they can take it out, put in the living room, and they can just take the camera in. But I have noticed that they will use the camera and they'll put it on the table, and I'll say, when you use something, put it back where you found it. That way somebody needs it, they will be able to locate it quickly. But that's the things we are working on. They are now I'm green and gold person type. The color, the two first color of mine are those. So I'm more a routine type person, a structure type person, and that's why that's the same thing that I've been doing with my kids. So it's not that that's what you should do. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And my kids are, I think, at least the girls, I know that one might be, the first two color might be green and orange, or orange and green. And another one will be, especially the oldest one, will be orange and blue. The first two colors are blue and orange. So the middle one will be green and orange, or orange and green. I don't know which one is the first color for them, which one is the second color, but I can pinpoint the first two colors for them. So they do not have gold color in their first two colors, therefore naturally it does not come for them to have a structure, to follow some structure. But I noticed that when I do not set a routine for them, or when I don't follow a routine for them, is not, they do not follow it, or they do better when there is a routine in place. So, but I'm more of a routine type person, therefore that's what makes sense for me. When things are, when there is a clutter, it bothers me. Things has to be organized in a certain way, and the best way I found it is to organize their toy in small containers that are numbered, and they take one container out, they play with those things for a while, for some days, and when they want that container put away, it goes away, and the next number, 1 2 3 4 5, the next number that follow the number that is on that container will come out regardless of what they want to play on now. Is the next number, that is that number that will come out what for them to work with. And that's the same principle. I've been doing that for some years now. That's how I was able to organize their toys. But that's the same principle I'm using for their craft items as well. Although I didn't put them in small container and number them, I just used 2 boxes to put them in. But then I will take it out, and they can pick the project they want to work on, be very specific, one project, and they have an ice cream container, gallon container they can put, if things can fit in it, they will put the tools they need for that project for one person, and the other person will pick the project they want to work on. And for my son, for instance, when I chose a clay project for him, I scooped the clay from the bucket, put it in a smaller container for him, and then he picked a color, a paint, and then pick the brush, and I put it in an ice cream container for him as well. And he used the clay to make some animals, but I didn't see him painting them. But yeah, so, and that's that. So, and they, they are not perfectly following the schedule, but they are following enough that is keeping them busy all day long. And the reason why I did that was that so that they are not on the computer for hours playing game. In the past, I have game in the schedule for 2 hours, but I took it out this summer, and I put those skills learning things, and I was okay buying those craft products for them, so that they have enough variety in their schedule to keep them entertained, excited, busy, occupied during the day, doing something productive, fun, and learning at the same time, learning new skill. So yeah, and then at 4 they'll put the computer away. And the reason why I have those learning skill things on the schedule for them is, and I don't have problem buying them, those craft products, even if that will cost me some money to do it, is when I send them to school, they do not have after school activities. At least I didn't enroll them in any other school activities. So when they go to school, school is over, I want them out of school premises or off of it. So they go to school to learn, and when they are done, I want them home. And at home, I like to take over teaching them other skills that they are not learning at school. How to manage their money, how to make money, how to save money, how to cook, how to clean, and other crafts that they might want to get into. And they like making jewelry, and they have those crafts they can work on as well. I know that few of them asked me about music, and I said no, they are not going to be in a band at school unless it's within the school hours. I'm okay with it. Music during the school hours, I'm okay, but music outside of school hours, I'm not, because I will not have a time to take them to practice or rehearsal or to watch whatever they are going to play. Therefore, I don't want to put them in a position that they will feel like I don't come to, you know, their game or their play or their performance. So yeah, I won't be able to manage it. I have co-workers that they will complain about schedules, they have activities that they have to take things to, and they will complain about how much they spend on those activities. And I'll ask myself, well, why do you keep doing it? Sometimes I'll ask that question, why the kids are on those activities. They will, and then they will say that, oh, kids are that. I think there is a social aspect that they think is worth it doing, but I mean, that is their thing. So yeah, if your kids are in different activities, that's fine. If that's what you want for them, that's fine. I just don't put mine in those activities, and I know that they might have some talent that they can work on related to those activities. I know that one of the kids tend to work on her toes not putting the heel down, and she'll do well with ballet. But I mean, she's green and orange, or orange and green, so I don't really want to feel that risk tendency in her. So she tends to do dangerous things, and I say, seriously, did you think about the safety side of what you are doing before you are doing it, to know how you should do it? So yeah, but I think she can, you know, do ballet, but I didn't put her in ballet. And I know she brought up music as well, and I said no. She was given flute at school, and she taught herself. I call it flute. I don't know if that's flute or not, but I think she called it differently. And she taught herself how to play by watching YouTube videos, and I think they played at school during music time too. But yeah, and I think she got one for the sibling as well. Each one of them has one, and they did that for a while, and then they got tired of it, and they have it there. So but yeah, they can learn things online. They taught themselves how to make jewelry. I don't know how to craft jewelries, but bead jewelries, but they just watch YouTube and they learn how to do that, and they check books out of the library, and they follow that as well to do those crafts. So little by little they are learning how to do things by just watching YouTube channel or reading books. So but yeah, and so that is one reason why I do not send them to school activities, because, and I think why some parents might send kids to school activities is it will keep the kids busy while they are working until they get off work and go get the kids. So that is understandable. But my husband and I, since the kids were young, I didn't really want to put them in daycare. Therefore, we work different hours so that at all time one of us is available to watch the kid, to be with the kids, or to watch the kids, or to be available for the kids. Therefore, we didn't have that need. So that's that. So, and that is maybe second reason. So the third reason is it saves us money for now putting them in daycare or after school activities, you know, when they pass daycare age. But because when we did the calculation how much it going to cost to put a child in a daycare, it was especially I think my husband wanted to go to a higher position or something like that, and the salary from it was not high enough to justify the daycare fee. So I told him that it's just better we keep it the way it is. Yes, the income is not high, but we can manage it. Instead of having more expenses for a higher pay that does not cover that increase in daycare expense. But that was a choice, because yeah, you can go for that rise, and I think a second child is showering. So during the weekend, my youngest one can shower himself. I don't have to shower him if I'm not available. So maybe he's the one showering. So, and when you go for that raise, yeah, for some years it might be an expense, the daycare fee, but when that child is out of daycare, the school activities may not be that expensive, and the raise from your promotion might be justified. But for every decision you make, there is a pro and con. You just have to see which one you are comfortable with. In economy, there is that is called opportunity cost. You have to let something go to get something else. So you just have to see what you are willing to let go for what you are willing to have. For us, we prefer to keep our expenses low low. So, and we just manage having some hours that works for us. We both work full time, and we both watch our children as well. They didn't go to daycare, and they didn't go to after school activities. So that allows us to save money, and that allows us to pay off our debts. And now that we pay off our debts, we are investing. But I had to say that last year and this year, we had to do replace the siding on our house, and now is the roof that we need to replace. So, but yeah, besides those big ticket items, we were able to free more money to invest after we pay off our debts. So, but those are the reasons why I do not send my kids to after school activity. We do not have a need. We both are available for them. Either one of us is available after school to pick them up from school and to stay with them until the other one is at home. And it allows us to save money that, you know, we can pay off our debts and we can invest. And it allows us to teach them skills that they are now learning at school. So yeah, that's that. So because I want them to learn different type of skills, and the way I'm viewing it, so the way so because I want them to learn those skills, I don't have problem spending money on their crafts, because I'm not paying for their school activities or daycare or things like that. I'm okay going to the store and spend about $800 and buy them a lot of different type of crafts related supplies that they can use for months and learn new skills. We are all different, and I do believe that with who I am, God gave me those children because He knows that I have something I can teach them. Therefore, with the power that is trusted in me, that's how I want to raise them, giving them all the tools that I think might be useful for them when they grow up, leave my house. They have a library of skills, knowledge at their belt that, based on the situation they find themselves in, they can see the demand out there, the skills they can tap into to provide for themselves. Therefore, if they are, and then I want them to, when I'm learning a skill, I'm sharing it with them at the same time or soon after, so that I can expose them to different type of skills to be able to pinpoint their natural abilities. Because when you are learning a skill, if you have a talent for it, an ability for it, you will learn that skill very quickly and you will improve in it as well. So I think, like somebody say, a skill allow us to learn. Anyway, so our abilities or talents help us be very good at a skills that we learn. So skill allow you to learn something. Like a skill is something you learn, but your natural ability allows you to be very good at it. So if your talent, I'm not phrasing it well, but if you have a natural ability for something and you are learning that skill, your natural ability will allow you to master that skill very quickly and be very good at it. So I'm trying to make them learn different type of skills so that if I can detect their natural abilities and point it out to them, and be able to know what they are naturally good at. That way they can, because naturally what they are good at, they will be more inclined to learn the skill that is linked to it. They might like that skill more. So I'm trying to see what they like doing, to see if there is a natural talent, a natural ability that is in sync with it. So yeah, and that's why I'm exposing them to a variety of things, from stocks to crafts, and and see what they are. For right now, I can say that my son is more scientific, analytical minded type, so he's now really matching to crafting. But it's all by exposing them to those different things that I can see what they are naturally drawn to, what they really don't care for, and things like that, and see if I can pinpoint their talent or their natural abilities, and see how I can help them discover those natural abilities. And because in some way, when you know what you are very good at, when you are progressing in your education, you'll be able to choose a career that is in sync with who you are. Your natural abilities, they might make you enjoy your career more if they are in sync. I think that's just me thinking it that way. But yeah, it's just those reasons why I like to have those. I want them to try those different things to see, if they can learn something, if they can turn something into a money making machine, and so forth. So so they'll do all of that, and at 4 they will put their computers away. A lot of times they don't do that. I have to remind them, because at 4 I'm done working. I work from 7:30 to 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So when I'm putting my things away, I want them to meet me in the kitchen so that we can cook together, and that's how I'm teaching them how to cook. And and at this point, I want them to start cooking more and more. And last year I put on the schedule that they will cook rice, and rice is all I taught them. But this year I put on the schedule that they will cook with me, so that the whole summer, because I want them after school, we cook together. So I started already in summer so that we can continue the routine. But yeah, we will cook together, and they have been doing that. Few times I had to remind them to show up. But yeah, and if like weekend, if I'm cooking before 4, then they may not be in the kitchen with me, unless there is a curious one that wanted to see what I'm doing and might show up. Otherwise, they will be on their computer. But if I'm cooking after 4, then they'll be in the kitchen cooking with me, and I will just work them through things. They'll do things, and we'll cook. I will serve them, and while they are eating, I can clean up the kitchen, clean up the house, and so forth. And After they are done eating, they clean up their dishes, they will clean up the table where they ate, and they will meet me in the living room where they can read. That is the rule. They will read, but some will work on craft as well. But I want them to start getting ready for bedtime. So I want them to read. But some of them will read, some of them will work on crafts, some of them will work on both. And then I will work a little bit or eat and work if I have time to work in the evening on our business. And I will brush their teeth, give them the brush to finish brushing, and we will pray, and I will send them to bed. And the rule is to go to bed at 7, but sometimes I'll go past 7. What I notice is, if sometimes I send them to bed at 7, sometimes I send them to bed at 7:30, sometimes I send them to bed at 8 or 8:30 or 9. When I send them to bed at 7, they tend to play longer for a long period of time before they will fall asleep. Therefore, I notice that they work well. When I set a routine and I follow the routine, it tend to work. It works well for them. But when I'm changing it, it just doesn't work well for them. So, and when I set those type of routine, I follow it as well. So if I'm sending them to bed at 7, I like to go to bed at 7. That way, they're not going to come out of the room to talk to me. They do that. They come out of the room to talk to me in my room. So if I'm in the living room working, they will do the same. And they might even do it more because I'm there. They tend to be around me. So when I'm in the living room, they might be there as well. And I have to stop doing what I'm doing and remind them to go to bed, and doing that over and over and over. And what I'm trying to work on, I mean, I even work on it properly. Sometimes when I'm working in the bedroom, they will come there multiple times as well. Even when I'm in bed sleeping, they will come in bed and talk to me there as well. So I just found it that it's just better I send them to bed at 7 and I go to bed at 7. So there are things when I set it for them, I follow that as well, so that I can set the example. And naturally, I think I'm more nighttime person and a morning person as well, because I practiced both for so long when I was going to school, that I can go to bed late and wake up early. But with them, I just chose to be a morning person. So I'll go to bed at the same time I'm sending them to bed, and sometimes they will stay there longer with me because I'm now ready to go to bed. So the reason why they'll go to bed at 8 or 9 sometimes is because maybe they're having something and I cook late. I serve them, they ate, but I have not eaten. Did you shower? Come here, I'll give you a hug. Did you comb your hair? Then I should let you comb your hair. Good job, Jaren. So they will. So when I'm eating late, then they will be in the kitchen, in the living room with me there for me to be done and get them ready for bed. So I'm aware of that, and I have to try to get them ready and get myself ready, the house ready, so that at 7 I can send them to bed, and then I'll go to bed. That way I can wake up early to work on our business, and then I will wake them up to get them ready for school, and then I can start working for my employer. So that has been the structure that I've been following, so that I can help them follow that schedule as well. My husband does not follow that schedule. He can stay up all night, but yeah, for them to go to bed early, I have to go to bed early, and I think it just worked out fine for me. So that is how I try to keep our kids busy in the summertime. So the books they read, we took those books, we bought books from the library. I do not like to pay full price for books when I can check them out from the library. And my kids are very rough with books. Therefore, the public library here sells book. So when they sell book, we go to the book sale, and then we purchase books. So we purchase a lot of books, and they have been reading them. So that is the books that we have. But now that it's summertime, we'll take them to the library as well. And the library, they can check out books. So already I make them write it down on the schedule. Since they are going to check out of the library, I told them they'll check out 6 books each. But then I thought about it yesterday or the day before yesterday that I need to be more specific than that. So I told them to write it down. 6 books, 3 fiction, 3 non-fiction. So the non-fiction will be chapter book, that they like to call it, and comic, if they want comic. Some of them like to read comics, some of them don't. But and those, no, let me say it again. 3 fiction book, 3 non-fiction book. The 3 fiction book, they can have chapter book and comic if they want comic. But no violence, no romance, no horror book in the measure. So that is the guideline that I put there, and they can choose books when we go to the library. I don't have to keep repeating myself and checking everything they check out every time. I put the guidelines down. They need to follow the guidelines. They are in charge. They will choose, but they have to respect those guidelines. And for the non-fiction books, they will have 1 book for science, 1 book science or math related. So that's 2 categories. They can choose one of the 2. Science, any topic science related or math book, because some of them like my son can like dinosaur, things about dinosaur. The middle one might like stone, birthstone. The others one might like math book. So I gave them science or math, 1 book from those 2 categories. 1 book from
1 minute.
How to make money, how to save money, personality, or wellness. So out of those 3 categories, they can choose they can choose 1 book from those 3. And the 3rd one is crafts. So crafts, cooking or gardening, like recipe book, or sewing or gardening, or crafts like jewelry making, craft book. So they have 3 type of non-fiction book to choose. I hope I'm not getting confused here. So non-fiction book to choose, but I put it like that for them so that they can pick book 1 from each category. I mean, some has 2 or 3, but yeah, they have to choose from, so that I know that, and they'll have that for 2 weeks. So that way they can read something about saving money, making money, whatever they choose, their personality trait. You know, they have books on crafts, they have science or math related books, and then they have, and those are the non-fiction, and then they have the fiction book, whether it's comic and chapter book or all chapter book. But as long as it's not romance, it's not violence, it's not horror books. So those are the guidelines that I set, and we go to the library, they will pick up books, and they will have more from there. So during summertime, they will read more the library books, and during winter time, they will read more about the books that we check out from that we purchase from the library. And that's how I have been keeping them busy in the summer, and that's our summer schedule. It's summer schedule, but it's a set schedule for the whole year that they can follow when there is no school or during the weekends or summer. And when school is in session, they have homework, they'll work on homework. They don't have homework, then they will read for 30 minutes, they will do stock analysis, and then they will use their computer on any craft activity they want to watch or cartoon until it is fall. and we can start cooking. So that is our kid summer routine, or yes, our daily routine for summer. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Afiavi Liberman, Cross of Liberman Consulting and L.L.C. Liberman Consulting LLC, and Afiavi Liberman, Cross of Liberman Consulting LLC YouTube channel, and in our blog. On our channel and our blog, we share different ways you can save money and different ways you can make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. Thank you. We thank you very much for watching our videos. Thank you very much for your time. We thank you very much for all of your comments. And thank you very much, you all that subscribe to our channel. Thank you.